If you feel lost right now, like you've put down the thread of your own life and can't quite find where it picks up again, I want you to consider this. You're not confused. You're between stories. You've finished one chapter and the next one hasn't started yet, and that gap has a name and a purpose and an end. We're not taught how to be in the in-between. We're taught to have an answer when someone asks what we're doing, where we're headed, what the plan is. So when you find yourself in a season where you genuinely don't know, it feels like failure. It feels like everyone else got a map and you lost yours. And the not knowing becomes a thing you hide instead of a thing you move through. But here's the image I want you to sit with. Picture a trapeze artist, high up, mid-swing. There's a moment in every trapeze act that the audience holds its breath for. The moment when the performer has let go of one bar and hasn't yet caught the next. For a heartbeat, they're holding onto nothing at all, suspended in pure air. And that moment isn't a mistake in the routine. It's the routine. There is no way to catch the next bar without first releasing the one behind you and crossing the empty space between them. That empty space is where you are. You've let go of a story that no longer carried you, a job, a relationship, an identity, a plan, and the next one isn't in your hands yet. So you're hanging in the air, reaching, and it feels terrifying because there's nothing solid to grip. But the emptiness isn't the absence of a story, it's the necessary gap between two of them. Let me tell you about someone. I'll call him Marco. Marco had spent 15 years becoming someone, a particular career, a particular city, a particular idea of the man he was. And then in the space of a single year, the career ended, the relationship ended, and the city stopped feeling like home. He woke up one morning and genuinely could not have told you who he was, because every sentence he'd ever used to describe himself had quietly stopped being true. He called it his lost year, and he meant it as an insult to himself. He kept trying to force a new identity, grabbing at the first job offer, the first easy answer, anything that would let him say a confident sentence about himself again. And every one of those grabs felt hollow, because he was trying to catch a bar that wasn't there yet. He was lunging at the empty air, panicking, instead of letting himself fly through it. What changed for Marco was almost embarrassingly simple. A friend told him, "You're not lost, you're just early. The next chapter exists, you just haven't reached the part where you can read it yet." And something in him unclenched. He stopped trying to manufacture a story and started letting the in-between do its work, which is the quiet work of becoming someone who could actually live the next one. There's real research on this, by the way. The anthropologist Arnold van Gennep described what he called the liminal phase, the threshold stage in every rite of passage, the time when a person has left their old role but hasn't yet entered the new one. Across cultures, across centuries, every meaningful transition has this middle stretch, and the cultures that handled it well didn't try to rush people through it. They honored it. They understood that the threshold isn't a failure to be on one side or the other. It's where the transformation actually happens. So, if you're standing in your own threshold right now, here are 3 things I want you to understand about it. First, confusion is not the absence of direction. It's the overlap of an ending and a beginning. The fog you feel isn't you being incapable of clarity. It's the natural blur of a self that's mid-change. You can't see the next bar clearly because you're still in motion toward it. Second, you cannot reason your way out of the in-between. You can only live your way through it. There's no clever decision that skips the empty air. The trapeze artist doesn't think their way across the gap. They release, they trust the arc, and they reach. The answer comes from crossing, not from standing still and analyzing the void. Third, the discomfort of not knowing is doing something. In the gap, the old self loosens its grip and a new one quietly takes shape. That uncomfortable, undefined stretch is precisely where you become the kind of person the next chapter requires. Skip it, and you'd arrive unready. The waiting is the work. So I want you to stop calling this season a failure of direction. Stop forcing an answer just so you have something tidy to say at dinner parties. You were never confused in the way you feared. You were simply in the air between 2 bars, which is the bravest place a person can be. The writer Rainer Maria Rilke once advised a young man to be patient toward all that is unsolved in his heart and to try to love the questions themselves. That's your work right now. Not to force an answer, but to love the question and to trust the arc. You're not lost, you're between stories, so keep reaching. The next bar is on its way to meet you.